This is our 22nd Friends of the Director Speaker Series. So 22 of these things that we kind of came up with, a little more than a year ago. Actually, it's been almost 2 years now where we said, hey, let's bring interesting people in from our community who have gone through some of the stuff that we go through every day, right? How many of y'all go through stuff every day? That's all I can say. It's kids, it's babies out here. But we're going to keep it as stuff, right? So we agreed to bring in folk like us who go through stuff, but somehow they have managed to persevere, okay, and figure out a plan, a secret sauce, if you may, to be successful, to have a level of success, and to get some things done. So the whole purpose of this speaker series is just to have a candid conversation with our guests about where they came from, who they are, what drives them, what's their secret sauce, what words of wisdom do they have to share with us. And then after that conversation, I'll even open it up for questions from you all too. And for those of you who didn't get a chance to spend time with our guests yet, we are going to have an autograph session afterwards. And we believe that there are enough books that PNC purchased to give away to you to be autographed. Oh, now y'all gonna clap. Y'all ain't gonna clap. Wait. How was the food, y'all? Look, let's do away with formalities. Without further ado, let me introduce to you Mr. Sam Sylk.
Hey.
What's up, Sam?
How you doing, B? How you doing?
Good, man. I've had the pleasure of working with you on a couple different events and occasions, man. You've always been a joy to work with. You've always been super professional. And more than anything, man, you just always been real, man, and I appreciate that.
Well, I thank you. I thank God for the friendship, man.
Yeah, man.
It's always good to have a relationship with a brother.
Thank you, exactly, because black men got to stick together, right?
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. I thought somebody would clap on that. Like two people. These people over here believe it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Man, let's talk about you, man. Where are you from? You're not originally from Cleveland, are you?
I'm originally from Chicago.
Okay. Chi-town.
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 127th and Wallace.
There's folk out there acting like they know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Chicago. I came to Cleveland in 1999.
Okay.
And I got a phone call. I was on the radio there doing my show on a Saturday, and that after the show I got a phone call about coming to Cleveland.
Okay.
And I said, oh, wow, okay, I'll check it out. And I say, I want to see maybe a couple of weeks later, I was here.
Right.
Checking out the city and came in to see the team. And, this is when Z1079 was just coming in.
Okay.
I don't even think it was, matter of fact, it was the first week they came on air. And I came in to check it out. And it's been nice. It's been nice, man. It's been a nice ride.
Nice ride.
Yeah.
Man, tell us about growing up in Chi-town, man. What was that like?
Where can I start?
Come on, man. Come on.
Chicago's a great city, man. I know a lot of times we're known for the violence. You see that all the time.
Right.
Exactly. It's everywhere. It's just that city is with 8.9 million people.
Yeah.
So they're going to really, they're going to blow it up.
Right.
But growing up in Chicago, man, I mean, it's fun. I mean, I went to school there, went to Kennedy King College there. I used to play DJ.
Uh-oh.
So I used to DJ different barbecues, and
right.
I would DJ the church sets. You
was that kid.
Yeah, right. I was that kid.
Had your mama's record player. Not turntable. You had a record player.
Yeah, they had this record player was a type that you had it would skip over and come back. You know what I'm talking about?
You had to have 2 pennies on.
Right. You
remember that.
Your mama tell you, stop y'all jumping too high. You don't make my record skip. And so, I mean, I can go on and on about Chi,
Yeah, go ahead.
But as far as getting into radio there, from playing DJ, I had a friend of mine named Marcella who was like, you need to go ahead and come up here to the radio station and, this school, my school, they got a radio station, and I can sign you up. It's WOUI, and I can sign you up, and you could do a show. I was like, for real? You playing radio anyway, you might as well.
Right.
Like, I was so serious that I would record the commercials on the radio and put them on my reel on my show. That's how I was into it. Like, I was a radio junkie.
Giving that advertisement.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna put this commercial that can sound real. The name of my station was WPLR. I don't know where I got it from, but it just sounded good.
Right.
And so from there, I went on to WOUI, 88.9, and I drove past there. Actually, I just literally came back from Chicago, like right before I got here. Right. And I drove. I was like, wow, I used to go to that. I used to sneak in there, and I used to prank call the big station, WGCI. I used to prank call Doug Banks. I used to prank call up there, mess with Tom Joyner, because Tom Joyner was actually there.
Okay.
And so one day, one of the DJs said, man, why don't, Doug Banks invited me to come up there. Actually, Doug Banks invited me to come up. Rick Party, another friend of mine, Rick Party invited me to come up. Jammin' Dave Michaels told me to come up. He says, look, man, you need to really take this thing seriously. And during this time, I was in between. This is my last year of high school. I went to alternative high school. So he was telling me, hey, look, Sam, you probably need to really look at picking this up as a trade.
Right.
Or go to school. So then I went on and went from Columbia School of Broadcasting to Kennedy King College, where they actually had the real curriculum jumping off.
All right.
So then I went there, and I fell in love with radio.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the people, with the audience, and and I went from there to Mississippi, and I can go on. Oh yeah.
You was DJing in Mississippi?
Columbus, Mississippi.
Oh.
Before I went to Mississippi, back in, how many of y'all remember those encyclopedias where the dude used to come to the house, try to sell that stuff? Well, this particular book had every radio station in the United States, and you could not check it out. It was like maybe 3 in the library. And I stayed there like 4 or 5 days, just write every radio station down. And I would take my demo from class and put a resume together and just mail it out.
Right.
And back then, long distance, I would follow up with a phone call.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Sam from Chicago. Did you get my package? And back then, long distance calling, man. Woo! My phone bill was like $500. And I'm mailing stuff out, and I got that phone call to come to Columbus, Mississippi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Columbus, Mississippi.
Wow.
And the radio station was in a trailer right there in the hood.
So that's what, so you,
right there.
So you invested early on in your dream.
Yes.
Because I'm sure you didn't just have a spare $500 sitting around.
No, I didn't even have the $500.
You still owe the phone company?
Man, Illinois Bell. How many of y'all remember Illinois Bell? Well, they cousins.
They cousins, right? Don't talk too loud. Right. You want to call the other one, collect their money.
Man, yeah.
Hey, real quick, Sam, I'm sorry to interrupt. If you parked across the street at the gas station, that is a no-no, and they are ready to start towing. So if you parked at the gas station, you probably want to move your vehicle. You are allowed to park at Rummy's across the street, like the sign says out there. You can park at Rummy's or on the street. But if you parked at the gas station, you might want to move your vehicle. All right. I'm sorry about that, brother.
It's all good, yeah.
Don't say I didn't. Ain't nobody moving either. People stoic. They like, I wish they would tow my vehicle. It's all fun and games till they do. But yeah, so you invested in your dream, and you ended up in Mississippi in a trailer in the hood.
Yeah, and I the job was only paying $643 a month. Okay. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. And so I was like, this was 1990. No, that was still wasn't enough money.
It still wasn't no money.
This was 90, I want to say 93.
Right. What was you paying for rent?
My rent, now that's an interesting story.
All right.
Because when I left to go there, I only had I had $300 and some dollars, like $325. And so the radio station only put me in a hotel for 1 day.
That was nice of them.
Yeah, right. You want a job, you got it. But you got to find somewhere to stay. We only giving you. I was like, ain't this something? And yeah, I was like, this is something else. So I slept in my car one day. I washed up in the Burger King bathroom. That's real. I washed up in the bathroom and I was like, man. So I get the newspaper and I'm looking like, man, I mean, how am I do this?
Right.
And so I found a spot. I found a trailer.
Uh-huh.
So another trailer.
Another
right.
trailer. Right. I work in a trailer.
I
sleep
never
in
will
a
forget
trailer.
the man's name. His name was Stan.
Stan the man.
And it was a 2-bedroom trailer home. You got a city boy coming to Mississippi, and
Right.
we know the stories of Mississippi.
Right. It be burning.
Oh man.
Mississippi be burning.
Man, and so, long story short, Stan showed me the place. Now I went in there and I did not have enough money. The rent was $325.
All right.
I had about $250 left.
Yeah.
And then he wanted $100 and something for a deposit.
On his trailer.
On his trailer.
On his trailer. All right.
So
Stan.
So I went into the room. I said, Stan, I'll be right back. Let me go in here. I mean, it's a trailer. It's just from here to probably, where you sit. That's it. So I'm looking. You know how you be looking and knowing good and well you ain't got no money. Oh, yeah. I'm just looking like, How I'm going to tell this man what I'm going to tell him? So I went in the room. I said, I'll be right back. I got to go in the room. And I said, God, if this is your will, let it be. If not, then I'm going to pack up and go home, take my stuff and go home. I came out the room, and I said, hey, Stan. Stan.
All right.
Never will forget.
Stan.
And I never will forget that. Man, it's a blessing to be able to, you should never forget where God brought you from.
Come on now. Come on.
Don't you
now.
ever.
Words of wisdom.
And so I went and I said, Stan, hey man, I just came from Chicago. I got an offer to work at a radio station. It's my first time ever getting a job. I don't have that much to get in, to give you. I don't have the 325 plus the one, I think it was like 125 to get in. I said, but on my, if you let me give you like 150 now, and I can give you the rest when I get paid.
Right.
I understand if you can't, because you don't know me.
Right.
I said, but this is the radio station I'm going to work at. It's WACR. Never will forget.
Yes.
Gerald Jackson gave me my first job, and he says, Stan looked at me. He says, you know what? I'm going to honor that.
Well, all right.
I'm going to do that.
That's right.
And when Stan, I gave the money, and Stan left out, man, I cut a rug in that place.
You did.
I was like, man, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, thank you, God. Like that, I never, ever will forget that. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So tell us about your tenure in Mississippi. How long were you there, man? What
I
skills did you pick up from Mississippi? What skills you pick up in Mississippi?
I learned more how to really dive into the listener. See, the show, it may be called the Sam Sylk Show, it may be called Tom Jonas Show, whatever, but without listeners, there's no what?
There's no show.
And so I learned how to connect with the listeners, how to listen, talk, you know what I mean? Yeah. And back then we had carts. I don't know if y'all remember, like 8 tracks.
Right.
So we had 8 tracks, reel to reel. We had to splice, cut up, tape, and cutting commercials and doing. It was preparing me for today.
Right.
93 was preparing me for today. Okay. So I mean, and it also. My faith grew when I was in Mississippi.
All right.
My faith really, it was, you're going to have more challenges in life, but that there, I mean, I didn't have no family there.
Right.
You know. And so,
$643 a month.
That's right. And listen, and I had a baby.
What?
Yes, Latifah. So let me tell you. Yeah. So I'm there $643 a month, have a daughter.
Right.
Okay. Got to make sure she's good. So what I do? I went and started DJing.
All right.
I was DJing in barns. Y'all ever heard the song called about crucial conflict in the middle of a barn? Hey. I was in a bar DJing. I started playing some blues records.
Right.
I had to do what I had to do in order to make ends meet.
So you was on the chitlin circuit.
What? I was in there. I mean, I'm a hustle. I'm gonna find something to do. I'm not gonna just be like, okay, this is all I'm getting. I'm like, no, I need to go get some more.
Right.
You know, and I couldn't let. Say it again. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and so you know, and that's what I did. You know, that's how I supplemented my income until I got a job to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Uh-oh. All right.
Yeah,
The plot
so-
thickens.
Yeah,
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
yeah. I went from there. I went back home for a little while. Then I went to Arkansas.
Wait a minute now.
Arkansas.
Were you trying to find the most unwelcoming places you
Man.
could go? I'm just wondering.
They called me down, and that's when my check used to bounce.
Oh, Lord.
Listen, I'll put on a record. Let me tell you how the radio station was. The radio station was owned by an attorney, and it was an attorney, a gas station, a corner store, a radio station, all in one building.
Wasn't no barbershop there?
No, now he had no barbershop. This was in the Delta. Anybody ever been to the Delta?
Lord. Way down in the river.
Yes,
deep.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. So how long were you in Arkansas, man?
Man, I was in Arkansas about 7-8 months.
Lord.
Yeah, and
Arkansas.
yeah, and then I mean, if anybody ever saw Private Parts? Okay. That was me.
Somebody want to know what part of Arkansas?
Killeen, Arkansas, by Forest Hill, Arkansas. You had, it was the Delta because you cross the bridge, you can go over to Mississippi.
Right.
So, you know, I was up in that area. Raymond was the station owner.
Raymond.
Yeah, I was the program director. I was the man. It was crazy. Let me tell you what the biggest mall was. I was like, man, where the mall at? Where we going? Oh man, we gonna have a good time
At the mall.
at the mall. I said, okay.
You and Raymond.
Yeah, well, right. Raymond, Raymond, his nephew, and them took me. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna meet people.
Right.
So they like, yeah, we going to the mall. So I get in the car. Me and my guy Omar. Omar left Chicago, came down with me. He was my sidekick.
It's always one to travel with you.
Yes.
Right? So Omar didn't have nothing going on if he followed you to Arkansas.
Omar was my barber and my friend. And
Take your barber with
you.
you.
Right. We was Boy Scouts together. I was a Boy Scout. We went camping together and everything. Right? So they take us, we riding country mile to get to the mall.
Literally a country mile.
Right. I get there and they pull up to this bright lights and everything. And I'm like, okay, we stopping to get something. No, this the mall. Guess what the name of the mall was?
What?
Walmart.
Oh, no.
That was my first Walmart experience. They had McDonald's in it. They had, you get your nails done, everything. And I was like, this is it. This is all y'all want. They said, yeah, we got to drive to Memphis if you want to go to a real mall. And that was 60 miles away. Yeah.
All right, so you did your tour in Arkansas, and then you rolled back up to Chicago after that.
I left there and went to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
All right. He just
kept going.
Where don't they like me? That's where
I went there, and the first station I got fired. You ain't been in radio unless you get fired.
Right.
So what happened? Oh man, Sam Wallace.
Right. Sam Wallace. Okay.
Sam
Wallace.
I need to
Raymond
write a book
and
about
Stan.
this.
All of them, all them cats.
Yeah, but so I had left again. Now when I went to Tulsa, when I went to Tulsa, I worked for this one station, and checks used to bounce sometimes. So then a new station came in. See, y'all think it's just peaches and cream, right? Okay, so the new station came in town.
Okay.
They hired me. They brought me over. Fresh Jams 105, man.
Fresh Jazz.
Fresh Jams 105. Jams Tulsa. I was like, yeah, I'm coming.
I'm coming right
I'll
now.
be there. and that wasn't really paying that much. And so again, I had to make sure I take care of the fam.
Right.
And I did what I had to do.
Right.
And I started DJing.
Okay.
you know, in the skating rink, 'cause I used to DJ in the skating rink.
All right.
And so I got me a night, worked out a deal, packed it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Rink.
Packing it out at the skating rink, man. And so
In Tulsa.
in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Now you know you cold if you can rock a skating rink in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa.
Cold.
First time I've been to a rodeo. First time I saw black cowboys
Right.
riding horses. You know, I was
Don't
like,
tell the
wow.
truth.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so Tulsa, Oklahoma, I had a wonderful time in Tulsa, you know, and I got that call that I got fired. Actually, I got fired while I was on the radio.
What? How does that happen?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, so it was this bit. I used to play it here. It's called the 911 call, where this dude got hit by, this dude hit a deer, and he put the deer in his car.
Yeah,
And
I
it was
heard
now,
that.
you ever
I
heard
that one before?
Yeah. So the real truth to the whole thing, he tried to use that as an excuse. The reason of it, and maybe I'm telling too much. The reason of it was the sales dude was real jealous of me.
Oh, all right.
I had some hate.
Right.
Because I went out there and I had like 2 or 3 nights here, 2 or 3 nights there, and he wanted that money.
Oh.
And he told me, if you don't give it up to give it to me and you work for me,
Uh-oh.
then I'm gonna make it hard for you.
Okay. All right. It's
And-
always one of them.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I never will forget that.
So, brother, I mean, so your radio career sounded a little rough starting out, man.
Oh yeah.
Why
Yeah.
are you here right now?
Yeah.
Why are you still on the radio, man?
Because you have to be able to stand, man, when things get hard, you know?
Right, right.
You have to be able, a lot of that stuff builds you for your next.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody who's here now, wherever you went through is to get you where you are now and where you're going.
Right.
And when you get some no's, you get some doors slammed in your face, that don't mean that it's the end or you don't got it. You know, there are areas right now that I'm going to keep working hard to get. Right. Regardless if somebody tell me, nah, I don't, yeah, okay, that's you. Because you could get so many, all you need is one what? Yes. All you need is one yes. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, during that time, that was a rough time. Right. I mean, but I went back to Chicago. We packed up and drove from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
You and Omar.
No, Omar was gone now.
You left him in Arkansas.
Yeah, I left him in Arkansas. I dropped him off in Chicago. Then I went to Tulsa. I was a driving dude. Oh, I ain't tell you when they tried to repo my car when I was in Mississippi. But let me tell y'all how God works. In the state of Mississippi, I made 2 less for them to garnish. So they couldn't get the car. They wasn't about to drive from Chicago to go.
Let that boy have that car.
Right. And guess what happened? I wound up getting the title to it.
Ain't nothing but God.
There ain't nothing but God. Wound up getting the title to it. I think we drove that car. It was a Mazda. And I put almost, about 300,000 miles on that car.
Right.
Mazda can roll.
Right.
Stick shift.
So I just got one question.
Yeah.
Where Omar at today?
Oh, I talked to him yesterday. He was at the barbershop.
In Arkansas?
No, Chicago.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. And I didn't get a chance to see him. I told him I'll see him next time.
All right.
No, that's my buddy. We grew up together.
Yeah, they rode down to Arkansas.
Rode down to Arkansas with me.
Yeah. So I think, what I hear, man, I hear a young man who had a vision for what he wanted to do. And then you had a passion, man, to follow that thing, to take money you didn't even have, to get on the phone, to call around and make some stuff happen. And then you had faith enough to follow that into some uncharted waters, man. Yeah. So that's powerful. So and then people was bouncing checks on you. You was in trailers and getting fired on the air and all kind of stuff. I think what you're trying to tell folks is don't quit.
No.
Don't quit now.
Oh no, you can't.
Don't quit now.
Let me tell you something, man. If it's something you want, how many people in here right now? It's something you want. You feel it in your belly.
Yes. Come on now. Right. Put your hand up like you mean it now. Quit playing. If you're doing it like this, you don't really want it. You're like, I think I want it.
Yeah. If it's what you want, you keep moving, you keep going. I don't care what no you get. And start studying what it is you want to do.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? I worked at Marshall Fields, which is Macy's. Macy's Baltimore. Marshall Fields is in Chicago. And so it was downtown, and it was three levels in the basement. It wasn't just one basement. I worked on a third level basement, and you could hear the subway. It was like under the subway.
that's some Dante's Inferno
Yeah,
type of stuff.
It was hot down there, and I had my headphones on, and I was listening to the radio, and I used to say, I'm gonna do this one day. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. When I used to work at the airport, you know, I was going to school, and before I went to Mississippi, I was working in the cold, 50 below zero, at O'Hare Airport. Anybody ever been to O'Hare Airport? Anybody ever been to Chicago? Listen, Cleveland, Chicago, look, it's cold in Chicago. I just got back, it was below zero.
Right. You was complaining
Just
last
because.
Right.
Yeah, but you have to make up in your mind that that's what you want to do. Even when it seems hard, even when it seems impossible. You know, you have to just keep on and keep on. And I thank God for my parents, you know, putting me in church.
Right.
You know, when they used to, I used to go to church so much, I just said one day I was never going back ever again. I thought I had paid my dues.
He was like,
I said, I said, look, I've been to church 6 days a week. So I know.
like it's your job.
And I think, and you know, and people on the way. People on the way, you meet people, man. You know, don't take meeting people for granted. You know, the Mr. Jones of the world,
Right.
the Fred Glovers of the world. You know, back in the day, we had everybody on the block cared about everybody's child.
Wow. Yeah. Right.
You know. So yeah.
So man, you go through all that trial and adversity, and finally there's a silver lining called Cleveland, Ohio. 1999, you and Prince was hot.
And I met Prince here for the first time. Me and Prince had a one-on-one.
Come on, man.
Just me. It was me, Prince, Billy Sparks. You know, you get you start just calling names out.
Right.
And Lance Patton, and they said Prince wanted to meet y'all before the concert. I said, what, me? I don't know no Prince. We ain't never met. It's a joke.
Right.
Nope. We went to the Wolstein like about 2 hours before the concert and set up in there, had a conversation with Prince for over an hour.
Wow. What was Prince talking about?
Just talking about music, and that's, do you like this, you like that? You know, asking me for advice. I'm like, you Prince.
Right.
I'm like, you Prince, what you talking about? You know, just nothing but hits, you know. But that's how he was. He didn't care about having all those hits. He cared, but he wanted to take it to another level. And
right.
he I was like, man, this is an honor, right? He played us some songs. What you think about this? What you think about that?
Prince played y'all some songs.
Prince. I was just like, took me a
Right.
while to come down for a minute.
Right.
I was like, sitting here with Prince, one-on-one. Yeah.
Right, and that was before you couldn't like record it.
No, you didn't have no phone,
had
like no nothing.
So you could be making all this up right
Man,
now.
right.
I'm kidding, y'all.
Yeah. But yeah,
That's a man of honor.
1999. And when I first came, I rode the bus.
Okay.
After I went to Tower City, and I rode the number 6.
All right.
All right, not the health line.
The real bus, not the health line, not the nice
right.
bus. Right. The real bus.
Because I'm from Chicago, so I wanted to feel the city. And I used to, I was a bus guy. My cousin would tell you, I used to sit in my grandma's window and count the buses. I was going to be a bus driver one day. That didn't happen. Anyway, so I rode the bus
Right.
all the way from Tower City, all the way out. Like, it used to go to Windermere, and it still kept on going. It didn't,
Right.
all the way out. That ride was almost 2 hours.
Right.
I just wanted to feel the vibe of the city. I wanted to be on the bus and see, is it just like the crib? I was like, hey, man, it's just like Chicago to me.
Right.
You know? And yeah, and yeah, in '99, man, it started popping.
It was popping in '99.
said, yeah.
Is that when you met Prince? Was '99 a little bit later?
No, I was a little later. I want to say maybe 2000, around like,
Yeah.
it was because we were we had moved to that next building. It was 2000.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. So, man, so you at 93 FM. Did you start out at 93 or you started out at 107?
107.
Okay, 107.
Yeah.
When did you make the transition to 93?
I came back, 'cause, I left twice.
Okay, right.
So I came back in 2013.
Okay.
So at the other times I went back to be on the radio in Chicago.
Right.
At one time I was doing both.
Okay.
And so I was in Chicago, and I came back to do ZAK. I filled in for a couple of weeks. I think somebody was off and asked me, would you come and do the weekend?
Yeah.
And then after that, later on I got a phone call and say, hey, you interested in coming back? And I said, yeah, why not? And that was 2013.
Yeah.
And when you leave in hip hop, sometimes the transition, you be like, man, I'm gonna go over there and do that, but it was the same thing.
Right.
And so it's been a great ride.
Nice.
Being on ZAK is a great ride, man. I mean, the callers talking to people every day,
Right.
Doing what we do and informing the community on different things that are going on, letting them know about what you guys got going on. And it's really a blessing. I'm humbled to be on the air. I can have a lot of stuff going on. I've gotten bad news on the air.
Mm-hmm.
But when we crack that mic, it's time, it's showtime.
Right.
And so despite of what I'm going through, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be all right. And when I'm telling you, I'm telling myself too.
Right. You're encouraging yourself.
Man, what? You better learn how to encourage yourself.
Right.
Don't wait for nobody else to do it.
Right.
Tell yourself.
So here you are, man. You're one of the premier. Well, now you are the premier disc jockey, radio personality here in Cleveland. And I just have to ask you, man, at what point did you finally say, you know what? Not only am I just going to be the radio dude here, but I'm going to make some stuff happen in this community, because you're an awesome community advocate and organizer, man.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I always said this. I always said, like when I had that conversation in that room before I went to go talk to Stan, I said, look, God, whenever there's a moment and you want to take over, have your way. You know what I mean? And being on the air comes with great responsibility. It's more than playing music. Okay? I get it. We play the hits, we play the jams, but people need help with certain stuff.
Right.
And when you have a platform, it's a blessing to have that platform. Don't get caught up in, it's me. You got a platform. And with a platform, a responsibility comes with that. Now, you can't necessarily help everybody, but you can help a lot of people.
Right.
Whether that's just giving information, whether that's connecting the dots, you meet her, you meet him. We're doing a coat drive right now. And a lot of this, man, again, goes back when I said I was in church 6 days a week.
Right.
We was taught how to feed folk.
Right.
We was taught every Sunday. I was in the choir, I didn't want to be, but that wasn't my talent. We were taught to bring a canned good to church. Right. When we marched in the choir, we put a canned good on the altar. One canned good. They would let it fill up. They would lay the plate over that food, and during the week, people would come down, and we would call what we feed the mercy seat. And they would have us come down there, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we would feed folk. Humbling experience.
Right.
I've been on that side.
Right.
Many a times.
Yeah.
And somebody blessed me. Mm-hmm. And so, how dare me sit up and not bless back? We got to bless each other.
Right.
So with the job of being on the air, it's a great responsibility to our community, especially in these days and times.
Yes. Right.
You know, you can't be shucking and jiving all the time.
That's right. That's right.
You got to be able to, give people that information, and you don't want to overload them, but give them just enough while you playing the great hits, playing the great music, in order to, keep the community going.
Yeah, nice. Very good, man. We appreciate you too, man. You know, and we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Sam Sylk, the entrepreneur. I mean, we got to know, man, we just ate your food. And I saw people in there sucking on the bone, man. What is going on with Sam Sylk Chicken and Fish, man? Tell us about that vision.
Man, well, wow. That was put in me a long time ago.
Yeah. Right.
And so I don't know where to begin. It's so many ways I can begin. But it was put in me a long time ago. And when the timing was right, that's when we stepped out on faith and we did it. I did a Doc's Fish in Chicago.
Okay.
Anybody ever heard of Doc's? Okay. So I did a Doc's there right before I came back to Cleveland.
Okay.
And we closed that one down.
Right.
And then I wound up coming to Cleveland, which was it's like, man, how steps be. It's amazing how God will just do his thing if you just let him.
Yeah, right.
So I get here, and I'm talking to my wife about it. I'm like, because at first I wasn't going to do it anymore. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, we hit a lot of bumps, and we learn. You learn from your mistakes. And I was like, I don't know if and so I said, it's very hard. And so I said, well, I'm not gonna do it. I left it alone.
Right.
But then the baby started jumping again.
Okay, all right.
It started jumping, and so we got together. We prayed on it.
Uh-huh.
And we opened up on Lee Road.
Okay.
That was our first store, and 3761 Lee Road.
All right.
And when I say stepping out on faith, we stepped out on faith.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We stepped out, because when you open up a business, that's and right, like she said, the restaurant business is a hard business.
Right.
And a lot of times people, they just look at the owner. Oh, you own a restaurant. They think, oh, you got to go up. It's a lot that goes on with that.
Right.
You are responsible for a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes on that you could never imagine. They don't even have nothing to do with the food.
Right.
And when you the face of it, and you in our community, they gonna look for more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you opened up on Lee Road. How long were you there before you had even more faith to open up another location?
Oh man.
Bro, you are faith-filled.
Yeah.
all the stuff you got going on.
Man. And I'm gonna tell you, I was riding down Mayfield Road.
See?
And I saw that
the
building.
bologna sandwich. That just sounded like that should have been the next
line.
line.
Man, you got me reminiscing in here, man. And I'm gonna take a break to tell the Lord thank you.
All right.
I'm gonna take a break to tell him thank you. What if I told you all, and I'm gonna share this because God gets the glory. What if I told you all when I drove past Mayfield, I was like, man, I think that'd be a nice spot. I wouldn't even call the number that was in, and they said, no, somebody else got the building, da-da-da-da-da. Right. All right, long story short, I get a phone call months later. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, that sign went back. Donovan called me. That sign went back up. Donovan Boyd. He's on my team. It's my brother.
All right.
You should call. I said, no, man, I called. He said, no, man, for real. I remember you said you should call the number. So I called the number. Mm-hmm. And then they say, yeah. Then I met the lady. She's like, oh, yes, you'll be perfect for this. Da-da-da-da. I'm going to introduce you to so-and-so, so-and-so. And then you talking about at what point did you want to do this one? What if I told you that I really didn't have the money right then and there to get it?
What?
Do you see this woman right here? She'll tell you. She's like, are you serious right now? I said, man, I feel it. I feel it. Sometimes you gotta have crazy faith. You ain't gonna get nothing done unless you have crazy faith. You gotta have it. You gotta have it. You gotta believe. You gotta believe. That's what you got to do. You got to believe.
Wow. Wow. So you go into your second store.
Yes, sir.
Right? And
Yes, sir.
and so you got 2 stores going. That had to have been incredibly stressful financially.
Oh, yeah.
And everything
yeah.
else.
Yes, sir.
So you stayed at 2 stores, right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
So and you didn't do any more stores after that, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, I thought you said that you had 2 stores and you was stressed and maxed out and everything else.
And so I was like, I get another phone call.
Oh, Lord. Come on.
Right. Oh,
Donovan again.
and so, yeah, I get a phone call about 222nd Street. And I'm looking, I was like, okay, because actually, let me thank you. I called for another location for something else I was looking at, trying to get some stuff done. And they was like, are you the guy that owns the restaurant? I said, yeah. Well, would you be interested in open up? We got a spot over here. That's how 222nd came.
Okay. All right.
And then, it was, and when you would have saw the place before we opened up, they was all, you look at it, you like, what we gonna do with this?
Right.
I mean, it was a mess.
Crazy faith. Crazy.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something else.
Wow.
You
So
know.
222nd, that one's where I'm from Akron. You got to help me out. That
Right
one
on Euclid, in Euclid.
That's in Euclid. That's in Euclid.
Yeah,
So
222nd and Euclid, right over there
So you
by
got
Speedway.
Lee Road, you got 222nd, you got Mayfield, man, and you doing your thing up here at the radio station still, and you still having your white parties and your New Year, and then you're doing some counseling and some couple stuff, and so you had to just be done with everything at that point, right?
I don't want to say I'm a counselor.
Well,
I wouldn't say that.
Some mentoring.
Somebody that went to school and got that
certification.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it, brother.
Yeah.
Right. So you were done with restaurants at that point, right?
No, I opened up in Garfield Heights. We in Garfield Heights.
So you opened up another one. Now, when that happened?
That happened back in April of this year.
You just couldn't get enough.
Man.
So here's what's funny. I'm friends with you on Facebook and some social media, and it blows my mind because I like doing things in the entertainment world around the city too. Not only are you like feeding the people in Garfield, great Sam's Chicken and Fish, but you be having like live jazz shows and everything else going on there too in the community.
Well, yeah, I love music.
Did y'all know that? Did y'all know he be entertaining at the Chicken and Fish spot? I'm not talking like some dude in the corner with an acoustic guitar either. I mean, he has jams there.
Yeah, man, we've been blessed to have some of the best, artists in the city come by on Saturdays and bless us. We're doing what we call fall cabaret concert series, where we feature, different bands from the city, and we don't even charge. You just don't do no outside food, of course.
Right.
And the band plays and takes a break, then they line dance, just so that, we can kind of, fellowship with one another. You know what I mean? And, and after that, we go home. Now, how many of y'all like good gospel music? We putting together a good praise party coming up on December the 8th. That's going to be on a Sunday after church at 3 o'clock.
At the Chicken and Fish in
Garfield.
Come on, man.
Garfield.
Brother, what you're talking about is a word called community. You're building a community around your stores, man. That's nobody does that anymore. You are building a place, a destination for people to come and share and fellowship with each other. Man, that's commendable. Indeed. That's right. Go on and give it up. So, man, obviously you have no time for anything. You're married, you got children, man, you got a career, you got 4 restaurants. And then I look on the internet and there's a book with your face on it. What is wrong with you, man? What is going on?
Man.
Talk about the book, brother.
Yeah. So how many of y'all know I do the reality hour? We used to call it the relationship hour. And so we get a lot of letters that come in, and we read the letters, and then we give our 2 cents. You all give you guys your take on the letter. And a lot of times people know what the answer is. but they'd rather hear from somebody that you don't know because that person gonna they don't have nothing to lose. They're not gonna sugarcoat it because you the friend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And instead of blaming somebody, you got to look at yourself.
Well.
You know, that's what we came up with the title. Is it them or is it you?
Uh-oh.
Is it you?
Right.
Are you the problem?
Right.
And so I wanted to dive into after listening to so many people.
Yeah.
You know, with their, and sometimes people, it's supposed to be anonymous. Sometimes they go up there, but that letter was mine. So, because they get upset because people tell them the truth.
Right. Right.
And so we you know, we take the phone calls and we give our take. But I really wanted to, you know, write down a lot of times some of this stuff could have been avoided had you have a conversation of communication. I got 13 topics just on the communication. You know, things that you don't talk about because you're so into the flesh.
Well.
She looks good, man. He got it going on. And yet they didn't gave you a bunch of red flags, which we talk about in the book, that you ignore. And then, right, because you caught up in lust, and so then this person is treating you a certain type of way because you have allowed them to.
Well.
And so now you're upset and mad at them when it's really your fault.
Well.
Because you didn't say, stop.
Right.
Hold on. This don't feel good. That don't feel right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Pastor, someone said.
And so you don't take the time out. And a lot of times it be right there.
Yes.
You know, and relationships, we all know, I don't care how long you've been with somebody, it's always something new. You know what I'm saying? It can be if you want it to be, or it can be the same old rerun.
Right.
You know, but you learn something about the person you with every day, because people change. They get, you know, we get older and we get better. Yeah. You know, but man, I was. Whew.
You done messed around and set somebody free tonight. You know you did. Somebody just got their word tonight. Like, thank you, that's confirmation.
What'd you say, right?
Just keep looking straight ahead. I won't know it's you.
Right.
Just look right over my head.
Yeah, man.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
So what's next for Sam Sylk?
You know, we started a foundation.
Okay.
So we could do meet more of a need for the people.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff I was just doing.
Right.
Not knowing how I should do it. You know, so I went on and did the foundation, so we can do bigger things. We can do more instead of me, going and just going to the store. And buying and doing this and that. It's better to do it in a foundation-wise, so that we can meet more of the need and do some fundraising. You know what I mean? So we can do more.
Right.
You know, when it comes to the coat drives, when it comes to the food drives. Mm-hmm. So we want to be able to do more. Right. You know, and do it more and just take it up a level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's beautiful, man.
You know.
That's beautiful. Thank you for that too. So look, we don't have a lot of time because as I told you, we have books for all of you, and Sam's gonna be kind enough to spend time afterwards to autograph your books. So I'm gonna ask you, and we're gonna hand out some paper ahead of time, so you can write whatever name you want in the book, okay?
Don't do cursive.
Instead of having Sam try to understand exactly how you spell your version of LaQuisha, okay? So you're gonna write it out.
What you say?
So when he get it up there, he just know. He can just write it down. And then, because there's a lot of people here, so we can get through it, okay? But this is one thing I'm going to ask for 2020, and I'll talk to my facilitators, my program managers about this too, because we don't have time to delve into this tonight. We're going to take questions, and I know some of y'all going to go here. So don't go here, because we're going to try to have Sam come back, okay, and maybe do a workshop on what you're already thinking. I know you're already thinking, well, how'd you get the money for the store? Well, how did this happen? How did it come together? All that. We don't have time for that tonight. But I'm going to ask him to come back sometime, maybe first quarter of next year, and we'll put something together in the evening where he can kind of walk you through the steps you need to take to monetize and fund your business so you can get it off the ground. How's that sound?
I'll be there.
Cool, cool, excellent, excellent. So at this point, before we take questions, I'm just going to ask you, Sam, is there anything you want to leave folk with right now before they start asking you questions about your fish recipe?
No, I would just reiterate, whatever it is that you want to do, go for it. Don't get discouraged over the no's. You're gonna get no's. Mama told us that when we was kids, and sometimes we got to remind ourselves that. Okay, and stay focused. And I give you this one. Ask for His will. A lot of times He'll grant it because you asked for it.
Right.
But is it His will for you? I done stepped out of the wheel several times. And as you're moving, you're doing what you do. You gotta just stay focused and stay prayerful and work hard and go study, go on YouTube, look to see, whatever that may be.
Right.
On that, what it is you want to do.
That's right. Awesome. Thank you for that. We got time for a few questions. We'll start left here and then we'll move on over. All right.
Hello, Sam Sylk. So glad to meet you. You know what you told us today?
What's that?
You said you went to church 6 days a week, and the rest of it was church. First door church, second door church, Mississippi church, Arkansas church. God was with you, and He still is with you. You got big things coming.
I received that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
It's confirmation.
I know you said your plate is full, but I'm quite sure you're aware that Cleveland is the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And here in Fairfax, there has been a interest in putting together some sort of an entertainment complex similar to what Leo's Casino used to be to us back in the day. Now, have you thought of, because you're already in entertainment, have you thought in doing that type of an entertainment complex? Because we really haven't had one since Val's on the Circle. And that is what community looks like to us. So have you thought of that aspect of entertainment, because you're already in it?
Again, going back to what Brian was saying, you gonna do something else? We're kind of doing that with Garfield.
Yes.
It's something I can't speak on yet. But has my mind went there? Absolutely. I just want to make sure it's right timing, and again, the will. If it's not me, I help somebody else say, okay, you know what I mean? But it's something. But we're kind of like Brian said, we're kind of doing it now as we're easing in. So we're gonna, we have Victoria Hubbard Barnes, who's gonna do the praise party. On December I haven't even announced it yet, so you guys are getting it early. So I can see something like that possibly, happening.
Excellent. Thank you.
Is it okay? All right, thank you. I was very inspired by your presentation. And I wanted to know if you had self-published your book.
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
And I want to know how we'll go about getting a tour of a radio station. I've always been curious about the inside of a radio station. So
I think you can really, during the business hours, if you can come up between 10 and 3, I believe they'll show it to you, because the way they got it set up now, Brian, it's like they put some money in there.
where is it at up the
It's
street?
right here on 65th and Carnegie, right here.
Not up the street.
Right here, the white building. On the other side, you know what Galucci's is, that building?
Yeah.
Well, we on the Carnegie side.
Oh, okay.
We right over here by Jumpstart.
So if I come in hours between 10 and 3, I could get a tour?
Yeah,
from you?
between 10 and 5, somebody might be able to show you. Yeah, hey, I'm a listener. I just wanted to, Sam said I could look at the station. I'm a listener. I always wanted to see it.
Yeah. Just tell them you were here for this event.
Right.
We talked about it, asked very nicely. Don't go in there looking crazy.
Right.
They will not unlock the door for you. Place is on lock too, boy.
They
It's
do. They
locked
got
up tight.
security in it, don't they?
You can't even go to the reception table without getting through
Well, I
the
get
door.
locked out.
Right. It's
Yeah.
crazy. You're like, I'm Sam Sylk. All right, I'm coming.
Hi, how you doing?
How you
I
doing?
listen to your show every day, and I truly enjoy it. Oh, and I truly enjoy it. And one of the things, the issues that I hear, different little issues. Now, I don't know if your show actually brought up the fact about a petition they wanted people to be signed because a young man was going to execute.
Yeah.
And so if you could just, if you have the website where you can go and sign that petition, I would like to know that. And again, I truly enjoy your show.
Thank you. Thank you. Go to wzakkcleveland.com and what is it called? Tom's other page, Black America Web. Yeah, blackamericaweb.com. Yep, I'm pretty sure it's a link right there. Yep, you're welcome.
Hello, Sam Sylk.
Hey, how you doing?
I just want to, thank God for you because you don't imagine how many people that be listening to you and message from you. It's a God gift that, every time I listen to your show, I was like, oh, he's awesome, and I just thank God for you because you are in a community and you are having a compact on everyone, everyone. Like the sponsor here, he was like Jackson 5, Michael Jackson here. But I really just want to give you thanks for your gift that God has given you so you can put it back in our community because you show love. And I really appreciate that. And I know many, many, many people appreciate it. And then I also like your determination and your story to inspire us to go in our purpose, and go in our purpose, to walk in our purpose. And when we walk in our purpose, we doing what God is asking us to do. And I just appreciate you and thank God for you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. And then check us out on Sundays, too. We on 94.5. Me and my wife on Sundays, we do a show called Praise in the City.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's from 2 to 4, if they don't put a football game on that day. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Yes. No, that's okay. Sam, want to thank you for everything that you do. Where you been at this week? You've been playing hooky. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What do you do? I'm 52 years old and I still want to get into radio. So what do I do?
The good thing about now versus then is that we have these phones. With that phone, you can create a podcast. Podcast is the new big thing. And if you have Instagram and Facebook, if you can just deliver content, content is king. So if you begin to do like a podcast, like if you Google it, I need podcast equipment, it'll show you, or you can even start on your phone, and then you start getting followers, you can even make money from that. They will pay you from sitting in your house or sitting here at PNC doing a podcast. If it blows up and goes popular, it could be held, you can get a radio show. So it's not really kind of how it used to be. So, now because of the internet, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you can start your own show today.
See, I'm old school. I used to DJ with Alabama Sweet Boy, Gay Rose. So I'm old school. I did the disc and everything.
Yeah.
So all of this
Yeah.
technology and all of this is just new.
Yeah, that's the best way.
So let me say this, for the podcasting, for those of you who haven't been around the PNC Fairfax Connection, we actually teach classes in podcasting. So we'll teach you how to do it, we'll show you
Wow.
and all of that.
Wow, y'all gotta show love. That's people pay for that. That's
Okay, girl, you better get on it. Shit, you better get on
and
it. You better get on it, girl. Okay.
Hey, so because of all the people in here, how many
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Wait a minute, let me first congratulate you. I love your show, I listen to you every day. I know the days you're absent and all that.
Well, thank you.
And half the time I know just about where you are. So, I have one question. Maybe more than me want to know this. Whatever happened to the blues records
The
on the
blues.
radio stations?
The
You know, we
blues.
still have some old folks that listen to the radio.
I'm hosting a blues show on the 22nd. Yeah, I believe it's on the 22nd. It's on my Instagram.
That's down. That's a concert. I'm talking about the
But I'm
radio.
Yeah, so radio is if there's a majority need for blues, like I'm just being real. So they do all this data, they do all this research. So radio is research. DJs, we don't come in there and play our own music. So it's research. So they decide. Right. I hear you. So they decide the playlist. They do research to say, okay, majority like this, majority like that. And so that's in order to help. So I give you insider. In order to help favorite artists that you like blow up, when you listen to it on YouTube and Facebook, that helps the song become popular to show up in digital research. Am I making sense? So the way radio used to work, somebody walk in, hey, I got a hot new jam from Luther. You listen to it, oh, I'm gonna play it right now. Don't work that way no more. So it sound good, it go, you know what I mean? So you have to support these artists, and this is why it's so good to have these digital platforms so that they can start getting the love. Now, blues is on its way back, to be real. I'm talking about even with the ones who 35. Well, I mean, I'm not
Popularity-wise.
Popularity-wise. I would say commercial-wise. Now, remember I was in Mississippi? When I was in Arkansas? Oh, they had a whole blues show, whole 8 hours. You know, because the market was for blues. When I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana, we had a specialty show for blues because there was a Big Daddy. Remember Big Daddy TC? That was his name. He was the blues man. So if you all will call or go on Facebook, the radio station a lot of times say, take this music test or something. Tell them. They read that stuff. I would like to hear some blues. I would like to hear this artist. So if you do that, they'll begin to, these people will show up in their research, and then this person can, whoever the artist is, end up inside of, that's how those songs, like I forgot who the girl was, the song crossed over. Who's the big time pop singer? Adele, there you go.
Right.
Adele crossed over to urban, okay?
Right.
Because people wanted to hear that song. It showed up big time in research. So you want to make sure that you those artists you like, y'all control stuff on y'all phone. Y'all know that, right?
Right.
You really do.
Yeah.
Who's a blues DJ?
It used to be my boss, my old boss, Gay Rose.
Okay, I just helped you out. You just answered what you wanted to do. You said you used to want to DJ. You used to want to be on the radio. Well, what if? Hold on, listen to me. I'm telling you how this stuff works. What if you start doing a blues, some type of blues set? You using social media to promote it, pump it up. I'm telling you how it works. All these people follow you. What's your name?
Bernita, but my DJ name is Lady B.
DJ Lady B? Marketable name. DJ Lady B, you got a blues set going on here, you got a blues set going on there. Now your following is growing, and now they need somebody to do a show. Who is this Lady B person? Who is she? That's how it happens. It's not really school anymore. I'm just being real.
Right.
So now this blues concert's coming in. The guy literally asked me today driving back. He said, "Who's the other big person there that does blues?" I said, "I don't know." So I think that's a lane that you need to tap into.
Nice. That's connecting, man. Way
Yeah.
to connect. All right, we got time for 2 more. Y'all good? Everybody, wait, Marsha got one. Marsha, I knew you wouldn't let me down.
in your inspiration and giving words of wisdom, is preaching in your future? I heard that come out as you spoke different things.
You know what? You know, I would say if that's what God want me to do, but I would not go looking.
Okay.
That-
But you are back in church, right?
That's a lot.
No, you are back in church?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I go to church. Yeah, I go to church.
And then also, do you know Jeff Fox?
Yes. Yeah. He used to be here. He was in New York, right?
Yeah, he went to Chicago.
Okay. Yeah. Then I want to give a shout out to my team here. Yeah. Y'all give it up for my wife and my business partner Zenobia. Come on, stand up. All right. You all give it up here for my cousin Angela. Her husband Wyndham.
All right, bro.
And look, now, is it okay if I tell them? All right. So I'm, I know y'all see Sam Sylk and all that. That's great. But we have a team of people, and I thank God for the people that he brings us. So it takes a team. It's not a one-man show. All right. And my cousin came down here. They came down here on faith.
All right.
And she's my district manager. Now, I always say the restaurant Rome, but she came out, what is it? Albon Payne. Y'all familiar? Okay. Yeah, well, they in Cleveland Clinic. They all downtown, they all over everywhere. And she stepped out on faith. That's a restaurant. They make these soups and salads and whatnot. And on my journey, going up to the radio station in Chicago, she would bring some of that food when or I'll come in there, what you got, what them cookies you got in there? And she would cater and show all that. And see how God bring this stuff together? And I didn't know that we would be here. But again, God did that. You know what I'm saying? But she stepped out on faith. Wendell stepped out on faith. And look at when a whole bunch of people just all step out on faith, what can happen? Man, please. Wow. I didn't mean to talk you to death.
It's beautiful, man, beautiful. Man, stand up with me, man, real quick. Y'all, show my man love right now. Sam spent all this time with us, sharing with us. We got something for you, Sam, real quick from PNC Fairfax Connection. We got you some PNC Fairfax Connection swag, Doc. Some other stuff there, too. Some fun stuff there, Doc. All right? Well, we appreciate you, man. We thank you for supporting the PNC Fairfax Connection and all you do. All right, so I'm going to ask Sam to go on to the back and get comfortable at the superstar table. You got your extra thick Sharpie today with the extra ink.